the world's first and foremost medicine. You might be wondering why this Slovakian proverb is being quoted today. The local immersion team from Government Buana College plans to gear towards water-sufficient Vanhne village. I am Lalnunhlimi.
My name is Lalremsangi.
And we are here to represent the team. Vanhne is a typical Mizoram medium-sized village located under Lalnunenga rural development block at about 10 kilometers west of Lalnunenga town. Presently, the village has a population of 900 comprising of 214 households. Upon observing the socio-economic conditions of the village, the local team finds that the village is a harbinger of the vegetable supply chain in Lalnunhlimi municipal area. Agriculture is the main occupation in the village, contributing about 80% of the household income. The village also has basic socio-economic institutions such as a primary school, a middle school, a high school, 2 Anganwadi centers, 1 health clinic, and a community hall. Vanhne has a completely mountainous topography, which is significantly higher than the general ground level. The village stands tall at about 980 meters above sea level. Within 5 to 10 kilometers from the village are 4 perennial rivers. As shown in this map, the first river, Nongva, is located on the far eastern side of the village. The other 3 rivers, De, Khanpui, and Sum River, are located on the western side of the village. Many non-perennial rivers can also be observed close to the settlement.
To get to the project we are presenting, let us look at the project rationale. In 2022 Global Index of Sustainable Development Report, India ranked 121st out of 163 countries with a score of 60.32 across 17 SDGs. To improve in this global rank, Niti Aayog has constructed the SDG India Index spanning across 13 out of 17 SDGs. By the report of expert group under the Ministry of Panchayati Raj, 9 teams were identified for the localizing SDG at the village level. Among the 9 teams, our present project on water sufficient village was selected as it caters to the most basic human needs and is vital to all economic and social development. Water sufficiency will go a long way in helping the village achieve a number of other SDGs.
In light of the objectives and rationale of the project, we must also observe the various challenges faced by the villagers in terms of water supply. Vanhne towers at about 980 meters above sea level, yet the surrounding perennial rivers flow only between 100 and 250 meters above sea level. As a result of the staggering difference in elevation, the village is experiencing acute water scarcity of both the surface level and groundwater sources. Under the state government's compassionate grounds, the village has been receiving water supply for the past 30 years through Greater Lalnunenga Water Supply Scheme. Notwithstanding these actions, the water supply situation is by no means ideal. As per the localization survey conducted between February to March 2023, water is typically supplied once in every 2 weeks, and each home receives about 1,000 liters, which is less than 15 liters per capita per day, as against the targeted 55 liters per capita per day for rural areas. The village also has access to 4 integrated village spring sources, commonly known as Duikur. These spring sources are located roughly 1.5 kilometers away from the village. The locals have to walk long distances involving steep paths, and oftentimes they have to wait until the next day for the spring sources to replenish. The water from these sources is also biologically and chemically contaminated. The existing per capita water supply available in Vanhne from both Greater Lalnunenga Water Supply Scheme and integrated village spring sources is 18.33 liters per capita per day. The households of Vanhne are forced to ration their water requirements primarily for domestic reasons. Insufficient water supply makes it impossible to spare water for domestic agriculture, public sanitation facilities, cottage industries and livestock, leading to low agricultural productivity and unhealthy living conditions. At present, Greater Lalnunenga Water Supply Scheme provide water to Vanhne and the neighboring village of Trampui. However, due to the distance and labor requirements, the concerned department encounters huge challenges in providing these 2 communities with adequate water. The families of Vanhne often supplement their water requirements through private commercial suppliers. Fees charged by these vendors are significantly higher than those charged by the suppliers in a nearby town. The households of Vanhne suffers financially as a result of this. The prospect of water harvesting is also very tough due to the rough terrain and high cost consequence of setting up such infrastructure. Northeast Initiative Development Agency, in collaboration with the local authorities, constructed about 1,000 trenches and recharge ponds, built gabion structures and planted trees to recharge the water sources in the village. However, these initiatives have not yet produced any notable outcomes.
As per the records of the village council, the present population of Vanhne in 2023 is 900, as shown in the table. The projected The projected population in the year 2051 is estimated at 1,295 on a simple growth rate. Considering the recommendations on the National Commission on Urbanization, water demand for the design purpose have been considered as 55 liters per capita per day. Bearing in mind the present population of Vanhne, a total of 49,500 liters of water per day is required, and a total of 71,225 liters per day will be required in order to sustain the water requirements in the year 2051. There are 4 perennial rivers located at about 5 to 10 kilometers from the village. The first one, Mongva River, is located in the valley between Vanhne and Lalnunhlimi. Sewage from Lalnunhlimi municipal area flows into this river, leaving it unhealthy for human consumption. The river, which is the largest and the farthest among the 4 perennial rivers, but due to its location and the 900-meter difference in elevation between De and Vanhne, poses a huge challenge in terms of cost and sustainability. The 2 rivers, Sum and Kanpui, are located at around 5 kilometers from Vanhne, at an elevation of 150 meters from the sea level. From the survey done by PHE, discharge capacity from the survey done with the PHE department, the merging point of these 2 rivers is sufficient in terms of discharge capacity throughout the year and is considered as the most suitable source of water supply. Vanhne has 2 main reservoirs with a total capacity of 6 lakh liters, which are located at the highest point of the village. Water distribution is done from these reservoirs through a network of GI and UPVC pipes to household. The village has an adequate infrastructure to distribute sufficient water to each and every household. But due to insufficient water supply under the Greater Lalnunhlimi Water Supply Scheme, per capita water supply in the village is way below the targeted per capita rate. Considering the problems of Vanhne and various solutions available, the installation of solar water pumped at the confluence of Sum and Kanpui rivers appears to be the most viable in terms of cost and sustainability. The infrastructure required for the storage of water and its distribution network is already existing. As such, the pumping system is the only thing that is required for the proposed project. The table shows the proposed estimation for the installations of the solar water pump, and the total estimation cost is around 361 lakh. Understanding that this is a considerable sum, the local immersion team have identified possible funding sources which have been listed here. If you would like to know more on the details of the funding sources, you will find it at your project write-up, which is at your disposal.
For the sustainability of the project in terms of both finance and operation, the community will oversee the water and sanitation related operations. The Water and Sanitation Watson Committee has already been in existence under the chairmanship of the Village Council President. It is envisaged that the community will oversee the solar water pump project by collecting reasonable fees from each household. The money collected can be utilized for the maintenance and management of the solar water pumping equipment. The locals of the villages have also expressed their willingness to pay fees to sustain the project's management. The community will work together to face any unanticipated situations which may call for equipment replacement or repair. As we have presented in the concept paper, a table is presented, the estimated pool of money to be collected by the Watson Committee for the next 25 years is around 128,40,000 rupees. This amount is calculated by taking the current minimum water tariff charged by the Public Health and Engineering Department and assuming the population of Vanhne to be constant. This estimated pool of money to be collected can be utilized for the sustenance of the project in the future.
This proposed project is the outcome of numerous consultations which we have had with the various stakeholders, which are mentioned here. Numerous discussions and meetings have been held with the Village Council since the initial stages of the project conceptualization within a span of only 2 months. This was followed by a local household survey to identify the core social needs of the people. Consultations meetings were also held with the PHE engineers who helped us with the estimation of the civil works and carried out the on-site survey on our behalf. A government-registered supplier on solar-powered water pumps was also consulted with regard to the technical calculations as well as in deriving the cost of the solar water pump components. The Mizoram Remote Sensing Application Center also provided us with the required maps such as drainage, hydrological, groundwater prospect, and topographical map of the area.
Water is the most essential element for sustainable development. It is an indispensable resource for human existence, socio-economic progress, and healthy ecosystems. Based on our local immersion program in the village, we, along with the other stakeholders, firmly believe that it is imperative to meet this fundamental socio-economic need for water. Our proposed project might not be sufficiently innovative or creative. Our cost estimations might appear to be very challenging or expensive as well. However, water is the need of the hour. Making Vanhne a water-sufficient village is our topmost priority. Thank you.
In project cost technical problem do khala chiang do khan 128 kan ing a break up omen.
Sir, a project cost ka 361 lakh 361.554 lakh rupees.
3 crore ti na mo 3 crore something tro alian le ta chuan nge component is soi ke nge ka approach road te khat telem ka khat ke ne lo khat telem
approach road te oma
nge an soi thok to in display ke lo kon
pipe work cost oma, sedimentation tank atana expenditure involved oma, approach road oma, control room oma, a solo water pump te kha ombuka sir tuna kan concept paper ron present ta khanin detail tak chuan lo ain siya kam.
Just one point. I'll leave it for the other judges, and that is, in the beginning of the presentation, it was mentioned that vendors, water vendors, charged exorbitant rates for Vanhne village compared to other surrounding villages. What is the reason?
The water that they take, the water that they distributed, these private commercial suppliers, the water that they take is, they take it from far off distances, and they, distance is more, plus they take the advantage of the insufficiency in the village. Since water is insufficient, they need it, it's a basic need. So the private commercial suppliers took advantage of it and charged high prices.
One doubt I have is that this seems to be part of a project that's already being undertaken by PhD department. So it seems like the solar pump or some sort of pumping component would be part of the project that's already being undertaken by PhD. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am. The storage capacity, the storage tanks, as we have mentioned, the village has 2 main reservoirs, and the distribution system has already been installed under Jal Jeevan Mission scheme, and under the state government's compassionate grounds, the village has also been receiving water supply for the past 30 years, as we have mentioned. However, the water supply, it is still insufficient. It is 1,000, they receive it once in every 2 weeks, which is less than 15 liters per capita per day, because in each supply they receive less than 1,000 liters. So the situation is still very dire.
So your understanding is the PhD department has no intention of improving upon that, what they're already doing.
Yes, ma'am. On that note, when we conducted survey with PhD department, they have expressed their excitement, should I say. They're very excited to help us in implementing this project, because it is also a very big task for them in providing water to Vanhne. To provide water to Vanhne, they take around 1 day, and the water pressure has to be very high from the main reservoir, from Lunglei. And the distance and the labor requirements are also very high. They want to cut off the connection from Lunglei connection from Greater Lunglei Water Supply Scheme. So they're very excited about this project. Thank you. Thank you, sir.